Bonjour et bienvenue à Get Through French, where we collaborate with you for a successful language journey. Salut, je m'appelle Mademoiselle Archer et je suis professeure de français du Guyana en Amérique du Sud. And I'll be your instructor here at Get Through French, Get Through Language. Maintenant, regardons la grammaire française that you need to know for the CSEC French exam. It has been divided into tenses, moods, and voices. What is a tense? The word tense in French is le temps, which is also translated as time in English. And so when we think of tense, we think of a timeline. Mood. This refers to the attitude or reaction of the speaker towards the action or experience being described. A mood is made up of several tenses. Now, I know this may be very new to you, but we are not preparing you to be grammarians. You just need to be aware of this information. A tense is different from a mood, etc. Finally, voice. In grammar, voice refers to where the emphasis is placed in relation to the doer of the action and the object. Par exemple, Jean a mangé la pomme. This is an example of the active voice. Jean is the subject and also the agent carrying out the act of eating, or he did carry out that act because it's in the passé composé, the past tense. One of the past tenses in French. If we take that same example and we put it into the passive voice, it would now be La pomme a été mangée par Jean. La pomme a été mangée par Jean. Now let's isolate manger. The verb manger, to eat, in the infinitive is M-A-N-G-E-R. But in the first example, the active voice, Jean a mangé la pomme, we have avoir in the present tense and the past participle of manger, which is pronounced just like the infinitive, but it is spelled M-A-N-G-E, accent aigu, acute accent. It's the same past participle we take for the passive voice, however, a slight change. We add the letter E to make it feminine. Pourquoi? Because in the passive voice, this past participle, and many of them have this ability to function as an adjective. So it functions as an adjective in the passive voice. And so, la pomme a été mangée. This manger has two E's, one with an accent aigu and one without. It's just there to make it agree with the new subject of the sentence, which is feminine, la pomme. I hope this has been helpful. And now let's continue on to the list of tenses needed for CSEC French exam. Voici la liste of tenses that you need to know while preparing for the CSEC French examination and the written examination in particular. First, the simple present, which we just refer to as the present tense. Par exemple, je mange, I eat or I am eating. Number two, simple past. This is expressed in English with to have just done something or had just done something. En français, we use venir, the verb to come, followed by de. And it's either used in the present tense to express to have just, or in the imparfait to express had just. Number three, passé composé. This is one of the past tenses you need to know, and it's a compound past tense. The imperfect or imparfait is usually juxtaposed with the passé composé. This is another past tense we need to know for a CSEC French exam. And number five, the pluperfect, which expresses had done. They had arrived. Okay, so it's something that took place in the past before another action in the past. when he awoke, or when he woke up, they had just arrived. So they're both in the past, but one occurs before the other. And so that had arrived would be in the pluperfect tense. Number 6 is the past historic, and this is a literary tense. In French, it's called le passé simple. This essentially functions just like le passé composé. It's just that it's a literary tense. So for CSEC, you really need to just be able to identify this tense. And so a lot of emphasis isn't usually placed on it. Unless you're going to pursue further studies, more advanced French studies, then you would need to really delve into this tense. Studies of this tense, sorry. Numéro 7, number 7. Now there is the immediate future tense, going to do something, and then there is the simple future tense, will do something or shall. For number 8, it's the conditional, would. And this is usually paired with C clauses. C means if in French. Well, it also means yes, but that's a whole other video lesson. So, voici les temps. Here are the tenses that you need to know in preparation for your CSEC French exam. Moods, moods, moods. Let's have a look at the moods you need to study in preparation for the CSEC exam, French exam. The indicative, the imperative, the infinitive, and the present subjunctive. I explained to you that the indicative is used to state objective truths or facts, imply certainty, provide information, verify, and confirm information. While the imperative is used to give commands, make requests. Come here, do your homework, things like that. Viens ici, come here. Fais tes devoirs, do your homework, right? The subjunctive is more subjective. I want you to do your homework. Je veux que tu fasses tes devoirs. Fasse is faire in the present subjunctive. So it's used to express desires, imply doubt, anything that's subjective, your emotions, fear, etc. What is the infinitive really? So the infinitive is the unconjugated form of the verb. And in English, it acts like a gerund, G-E-R-U-N-D, which is a verb form that is used as a noun. So the infinitive can function as a noun in a sentence. Also, it is used as a complement to a conjugated verb. But what we really need to know for CSEC is not only how to use the infinitive as a complement of a verb. Par exemple, je dois aller au magasin, I have to go to the store, or il va étudier demain, he's going to study tomorrow, where aller in je dois aller is complementing what I have to do, je dois aller. And in the second example, il va étudier, he is going to study, where to study is complementing what he's going to do. We also use the infinitive after a preposition. For example, in English, you would say before eating. In French, it would be avant de manger, where we have manger in its infinitive form. Notice I'm using manger very often in my examples. Another thing we need to know about the infinitive for CSEC is that there's such a thing as the past infinitive, and this is really where the emphasis is placed on, because you can learn to use two verbs next to each other where je dois is in the present tense and then aller is in the infinitive, but it's the past infinitive that students aren't really familiar with, and so you have to add this to your list of things to know when preparing for CSEC. And an example of the past infinitive would be elle a parlé sans avoir pensé, where avoir pensé is the past infinitive. Elle a parlé, she spoke, sans avoir pensé, without thinking. We have avoir, and we could also use être in their infinitive form, and then the past participle of the main verb. This is an example of the past infinitive en français. I really do hope that you have a better understanding of all the grammar, the French grammar needed in preparation for CSEC exam. Thank you for watching this video. Merci de regarder cette vidéo. And remember to be the best version of yourself all day, every day. Soyez la meilleure version de vous-même. Au revoir. Goodbye.